IQ instantly rephrased his instructions. Port and Zoner circle around the town and come in from the opposite side. Make sure you stay far enough back not to get hit. Omni and I will come in from the right side of the town as we face it, he said as he squared himself in the direction of the town with his arms both pointing ahead. Jacked, Knight, and Aid will come in from the left side. Hollow and Oracle come straight up the middle, slow. Both of you keep cover the best you can. Once he starts shooting at you, it's our cue to rush the town. One more thing. I know Coach said everyone against everyone, but I propose a truce until Midas stands in the red room at least once. Everyone agreed loudly. That kid is smart, Jack thought. She kept thinking about IQ as her and her new teammates ran around the town to the left. The terrain was uneven and overgrown outside of the training area. They must have some underground watering system to keep this from turning into desert, she thought. Instantly she was enveloped in a silvery flash and back in the red bench room. Knight and Aid quickly joined her. What happened? She said with force. Midas got you first, then us from behind, Knight said. How? We weren't even in town. Your K-gun will not be active until you cross the red line. That's what the coach said, Aid said. Midas must have heard it that way too, and checked by walking back to the town and testing his K-gun, Knight said. We have to warn the others he's not in the town, Jack said. The red bench room became active again, and Hollow and Oracle appeared with a puzzled look on their faces. He got them too, said Knight. He's circling the town and trying to catch the others from behind. I saw him do this in the video game. We have to run, Jack said quickly and started to run for the town. On the run, Oracle asked Jack, Can't we hold our position and just try to stop his path? No good. Until our K-guns are active, he won't stop for us. He'll just shoot, Jack answered. Does anyone know how fast a near miss can run? You know I can fly, Hollow said as she was fighting to keep up. An adult near miss can be up to 5 times as fast as a normal human with endurance to match. I have to think the same is true for an 11-year-old, said Knight. So that would be a sprint 35 and maintain 25 miles an hour, Jack asked. You were keeping up. What's your top speed? Knight asked. My top is 37, but I can only do that for a couple 100 yards. Midas didn't look tired after the run, Jack said. It's a trap, yelled IQ. The others could see him coming from the right. Run for the line, yelled Jack. She picked up pace and sprinted for the red line surrounding the fake town. Midas stepped out from behind one of the buildings with a big smile and fired at her. One by one they showed up in the red bench room. I said it was a trap, said IQ dryly. He did a little victory dance before he shot me, Knight said. I thought he was circling around behind you, Jack said to IQ. She then filled him in on what happened. Well, he didn't circle around. He cut through the town and defended the back from Port and Zoner. Then he chased Omni and myself, IQ said. I can read his mind and find out where he'll be next, Oracle said. No powers, coach's rules, IQ said. He then smiled and walked back into the dugout. After a minute, he walked back out. Morning refreshments will be served from the hotel in the front of the town in 15 minutes by bot. You're going to rig the bot to explode? Said Jack. That's not bad, but no. When the bot arrives, he will be in one of 2 spots, ready to defend the front from the bot and some kind of trap or guarding the back thinking it's a diversion. Odds of him guarding the flanks of the town are less, IQ said. What does flank mean? Aid asked. That means the sides, Jack said. We start with half on either side, way out of range. At the same time the bots arrive, we both charge. One group should get in, IQ said. With the plan in place, 4 boys took the right and 5 girls took the left. 15 minutes later, a bot was running up to the front of the town at a surprisingly quick speed, carrying a large picnic basket in front of him. Refreshments for Midas, the bot said very loud. Midas knew it must be some tactic. They're watching him and coordinating a run for the town on that signal, he thought. Midas ran inside one of the taller buildings. Quickly he made it to the top and out on the roof. He saw 2 teams in the distance, one of 5 girls from the west and one of 4 boys coming from the east. Be fast, he thought. He aimed his rifle at the 4 boys and started firing. Knight was hit in red bench. Shots rained down on them. IQ, Armory, and Port split farther apart. He's on us. When the next one gets hit, find cover, yelled IQ. The next shot came very close to Port. They did not wait for the next hit. All three of the boys dove for cover. Midas jumped down from the building and sprinted as fast as he could for the west side of the town, where the girls were quickly approaching the line that would activate their K-guns. "Faster! The shots have stopped! He may have already gotten the boys," said Jack. Back on the east side, IQ waited for the count of 20 and jumped up. "He's after the girls! Run for it!" The three boys sprinted for the red line. Jack was way ahead of the other girls as she crossed the red line. "I made it," she thought. Then she was back in the red bench room. "I am going to get him today if it's the last thing I do," she said out loud. The other four girls appeared next to her. "Where are the boys?" Zoner asked. "They must have made it. Come on," Jack said as they exited the dugout. Ahead of them on the trail, they saw Knight running back to town. "That was only one. The others must have made it." Hollow, Zoner, and Aid ran steady. The others were getting tired. As they approached the town, they could hear constant K-gun fire. Knight passed the line first. He ran straight between the buildings and took cover. Eventually, all the girls followed him to the same position. "We need to keep 5, said Jack. "What does that mean?" asked Hollow. "It means keep 5 yards apart. We need to spread out so we can't all be shot together," Knight said. They started moving away from each other while keeping cover behind buildings. Once each had a good position, they started moving forward toward the battle. "Wait, we need to know what we're walking into," said Zoner. She looked for a building to climb up into like Midas did earlier. A nearby 3-story building with windows facing the fighting looked like it would work. Once up inside, she looked through the window to survey the fighting. "I see Port and IQ trying to pin down Midas. I don't see Armory," she yelled down. Midas heard the yelling. He didn't have time to look, but he knew these new players would be shooting at him soon. He moved back and took shelter behind a new building. Looking to his side, he saw Zoner in a 3-story window looking at him and telling the others where he was. She must be 200 yards away, he thought. The scope would work if he had time, but he didn't. He raised his weapon and fired dozens of shots at the 3-story window. Zoner saw Midas turn toward her and raise his K-gun. She ducked back and down as the wall to her left exploded into splinters. The walls kept exploding at what would be waist height if she were still standing. The moment the damage stopped, she crawled quickly to the stairs and down. "This is what it looks like from up there," Zoner said as she started drawing imaginary streets and buildings in the dust on the ground. "We can go this way and get behind him. Once here, he has to put his back to us or to Port and IQ. Good idea. Knight, go join the other boys and have them keep pressing that side. Zoner, you lead the girls where you said and try and take his back," said Jack. "You're not coming?" Zoner asked. "No, there was something he did when we were playing video games. He may try it again when outnumbered. I want to be waiting," Jack said. "All right, let's go," Zoner said. Knight was quick to join up with the other 2 boys who were pushing hard and moving forward fast. Too fast. The girls moved to the position they wanted to be in, but it wasn't his back. It was his front. The boys were where they should have been. Zoner told the plan to IQ, and they continued to chase Midas. "We need to slow down. He's retreating so fast we can't get his backside. He's leading us," IQ said. They all stopped moving forward and gathered to listen to what IQ had to say. "We need to spread out and surround him." Midas could hear IQ speaking. There was no shooting and little foot movement. He ran at top speed to some buildings to the other side and kept running until they were in view. All in a row, he thought. He opened fire as quick as his K-gun would fire. "Move! Move!" screamed IQ. He then found himself in the red bench room. Zoner, Port, Aid, and Oracle then showed up. Hollow and Knight barely made it behind the edge of the building during the attack. And the crowd starts chanting his name. "Midas! Midas! Midas! Can anyone stop this young man from Michigan?" Midas said out loud. "Keep on trash talking. It just makes taking you out sweeter," yelled back Knight. Midas could now hear Armory talking to the 2 of them. He paused to hear their conversation. 3 of them over there, getting ready to move back across town and wait for the others, he thought to himself.